My wife, Andrea Cohen, has been pretending to be blind for 3 years while clutching onto her cane. On the night the old building of the medical university crumbles due to an earthquake, a crumbling wall completely shatters my spine. I can only scream Andrea's name hysterically in an attempt to call for help. With her eyes closed, Andrea stands by the debris while responding in my direction in a cold voice. I can't see, so I can't feel you at all. You should crawl out to safety by yourself. But the next moment, her first love, Eugene White, lets out a surprised yell. When he's about to get struck by the falling rocks from the tremors, Andrea's eyes suddenly snap open. She tosses her cane aside and accurately avoids the metal bars and spikes that are strewn all over the ground. Without hesitation, she lunges at Eugene just to protect him from the rocks. The back of my head ends up getting pierced by a fallen slab. After I wake up from a coma, I've gone completely blind. At the same time, my intelligence has deteriorated to one of a 5-year-old. 3 years later, Andrea, who has become the best surgeon in the industry, looks for me everywhere like a lunatic. Finally, she spots me huddling under a bridge, where I beg for food and money. She sinks down to her knees in the snow, her eyes bloodshot. To think that you're brutal enough to take out your own eyesight just to avoid me, is it even worth getting reduced to this state? I tilt my head quietly, as I stare at the void with my hollow gaze. Then, I slowly dig out a blackened coin from my cracked bowl, before passing it in Andrea's direction. Your eyes are working fine, lady. Why are you feeling around on the ground just like me? Are you here to beg for food as well? I've only earned 1 coin, but I'll give it to you. I edge the coin forward in my palm, hoping to reach the lady and brush her hand. Natalie always said if we came across anyone pitiful, we had to help them. This lady seemed dressed too thin for the weather, and a strange perfume clung to her clothes. She had to be freezing, kneeling in the snow like that. But the next second, she smacked the back of my hand. Pain shot through me, and the coin flew from my fingers, bouncing on the frozen concrete with a crisp ring, before rolling with a hollow rattle through the metal grate at the edge of the overpass. My money. Panic clawed my throat. I scrambled across the icy ground on my hands and knees. Without that coin, I wasn't getting any hot buns. I groped my way to the drain, forcing my fingers into the narrow gaps of the grate. My money fell in. That's for my food. The grate was caked with rust and jagged ice, slicing open the backs of my hands and fingers. I didn't feel the pain. All I cared about was that coin. Natalie worked so hard sweeping the streets every morning, and I couldn't lose it. Colin Gibson, haven't you had enough of this farce? A gust of expensive perfume hit me right before a cold hand clamped brutally around my chin. Her grip was ironclad as she yanked my head up. Just how far are you willing to go to get back at me? Playing blind? Acting crazy? Crawling out here to beg? Your acting is so pathetic it makes me sick. I had no idea what she was talking about. My chin ached, and her nails dug into my skin. Unable to see her, I flailed my hands to shove her away. Let go of me, you nasty lady. You're trying to steal my money. You made me lose my money. I broke down in sobs, tears mixing with melting snow in my mouth, salty and bitter. Pedestrians on the sidewalk slowed down, muttering, "She's all dressed up and bullying a blind disabled person? She even slapped away his money. That's low. Call the cops." His hands are bleeding. Hearing someone stand up for me made me cry harder. Nasty lady, give my money back. The lady must have felt humiliated. I heard her grind her teeth, her breathing turning heavy and harsh. Since you love putting on a show, Colin, I'll help you commit to the role. Take him away. 2 large hands clamped down on my shoulders, and 2 strong men hauled me off the ground, like an animal being plucked up by the scruff. No! Help! I'm being kidnapped by traffickers! I kicked wildly as my pant legs rode up, the icy wind knifing my skin. A sharp collective hiss came from the crowd, as my legs' 2 withered, twisted calves that had never healed after being shattered